have Mike Andrews here to do a presentation on home automation with the Internet of Things. The presentation will include a live tour of a home automation under development in a wired home that has computer-controlled devices, including lights, security cameras, door openers and locks, window shades, thermostat, fire and intrusion alarms, flooding prevention, real-time electric power monitoring and control. And I was going to add something in here. The first session will be an overview of the various home automation technologies and control hubs with a view of how they interconnect and interact. Featured will be the demonstration of the extension home automation control system that runs on Mac OS X, the Blue Iris camera surveillance DVR system that runs on Windows, and mobile applications running on Android and iOS. The rest of the things on here I'm not qualified to pronounce, so I will move on.
Yeah, so we don't want to go out there anyway. We'll be here by 8 o'clock at night. We'll have a break from lunch.
Now, you're probably wondering who Mike Andrews is. This gentleman right here is sitting in front of me is Mike Andrews. He's a senior systems engineer in his 23rd year working for a major technology company. He has delivered presentations for Uniforum Chicago since 1997. He's a lifelong technology geek who began tinkering with electronics when he was 6 years old. He founded a security system contractor company at age 17, where around 1982 he taught himself microcomputers and programming, leading to jobs at US Robotics and as a network and systems administrator in the financial firm of the late famed financial trader and aviator Steve Fawcett. He is a private pilot and owner of a Piper airplane and the founder of the PilotCast aviation podcast in 2005. And with that, please welcome Mike Andrews. Mike, the floor is yours.
Okay, I don't know if you know, I'm loud enough. You can probably hear me through the whole building without this anyway. What I wanted to tell you, I moved to Grays Lake almost exactly 10 years ago. Bought that house, which I bet you know where that is. This house was built by hand by the owner in 1960, and I mean literally they came out from Chicago and pocket nails to the boards and stuff, and everything in here is pretty amazing. And the house is a lot bigger than it looks like. It's actually 3,200 square feet. The problems that I had, the house was a foreclosure, and you know, I came in there, no lights in the house were, central plumbing was hooked up, you know, or it was winterized or whatever else. And the funny part was that none of the lights in the house, they had three-way switches, but they none of them worked properly, where basically you had to have one switch in the proper position to the lights out like you were a safe rent. So it turns out that the people who bought the house and had it for a whole year before they were foreclosed decided to remodel it for sale, and he took out the three-way switches and bought a whole bunch of one-way switches at Home Depot for 59 cents and cut the wires.
So it didn't work.
Yeah, well, it worked if you knew which way was on and on. So, so I you know, figuring this out, I needed to replace the switches anyway, and I knew some, I've had X10 home automation. I had done it when I was a contractor or whatever else, and a few things like that. Mostly, there's modules you can plug in the wall, you turn lights off, on and off, and dim them, and turn appliances on and off. So I opened up the switch boxes, did some surgery, and put in X10 switches, which are switches you can control remotely, home automation. And so there's some surgery in these boxes. By the entry there, for example, the switches were a lot more compressed, so we had to make the box bigger and some other things you don't need to know about. But anyway, I put the core switches in, made it pretty. replace these switches in the kitchen. That one, the dining room there, the switch at the top. Does this work? Yeah, okay. These are, this is a controller for the shades, and these are some more X10 switches. These are slave switches and control these other switches. If anybody knows about electricity, one neat thing about these X10 switches work is they have a single wire for the slave control. So you actually can have like 5 switches controlling the same system. You know, don't worry about how the wiring, all the wiring up, you just run that same wire up and down. Now we will do some practical things like that. Like this part isn't finished yet. Just go ahead and close it up. This is what's in the bedroom there. There is a dimmer for the ceiling light in the bedroom. There's an on-off switch for the ceiling fan. And this is actually a control pad, an X10 control pad. So I can push those buttons and control other things in the house. Because it goes to the computer, I can have it do anything. I can fire off a scene with them. But you also have, just so you know, you don't have to go crazy with computers or HA to do interesting things, like you can get motion sensor switches, like that one, which I have on top of the stairs. So I just open the door on top of the stairs, lights on. Those you just buy at Menards. In my bathroom, I have this two-stop switch, which detects moisture, turns the fan on, and it runs as long as it detects moisture automatically. You buy that at Menards. Okay, so I mean, you can do things like this, parts in your house, without making much of an investment. Downstairs, this is a smart switch which controls outside light. Until I put that switch in, this light is 50 feet away from where that switch is. You don't even know that light is on or off unless the indicator is on the switch. So now that tells me a light is on or off, and you even through programming can make that light follow, that indicator light follow the light outside or do the opposite. It actually comes set up so that the light comes on so you can find the switch. You can tell the opposite way so the light's on when the indicator light is on or the outside light is on. This is just a little night light, and that is one more motion sensor switch. This one's got a dimmer on it. You can buy that at Menards. Okay. So the X10 technology, which I put it in first. This goes back to 1975. It runs over the power lines. You don't need anything else to hook them up. You plug them in, and it uses the house wiring to talk to each other, to talk to the controllers, and to talk to the devices. It came with, always had console controllers. You can push buttons, a timer that makes them work on a clock, a phone interface. You used to be able to dial in and push buttons in the phone, turn your lights off and on. And computer interfaces came along. You can usually hook them up to serial ports, and now they have USB devices, that kind of thing. So that you can run software in a computer and have it decide when to turn these things off and on. You can see that this is like a Bill Gates thing. It went up to 256 devices. So 16 house codes and 16 devices for each one. And I might actually put a limit to that. So the X10 technology was made by very many manufacturers. The original was from DSR, and it wasn't very good. Radio Shack sold them. You can still buy X10 Pro and X10 Active Home devices. Just get an indication of what you have appliance modules like this you plug in. You just turn one thing off and on. Plug a lamp in, dim it. The universal module, you can have it so you push a doorbell button, it controls things, or the other way around. You push a control button in a console, and it might make a chime go off or something else you want it into. So here's a controller, a small controller you put on the desktop. Here's a dimmer switch and an outlet that has the X10 switching built into it. And it has an RF control. Isn't that cool that innovation works? So they came up with a radio control system where you can have a handheld transmitter or devices that go to a receiver someplace in the house, and they convert it so you can run over the power wiring and control your appliances. So there's motion sensors, so that now you can have it so you can walk into a room, we'll turn the light on for you automatically, that kind of stuff. You can detect people being in the house. power, you have a little filter getting it across your electrical panel. Besides which, if you have noise in the line or surge suppressors, they will suck up the signal, so they're not very reliable. So there are ways around that with other gadgets that will amplify it or bridge it. But for the most part, people aren't using X10 anymore. You know, I still have it. I'm still adding on to it here and there because I have all the gadgets that make it work, which I got put together still. But what's happening now is people are using Z-Wave, which is a radio technology. It's a mesh network where every device talks to every other device and repeats the signal. So if you needed to go out, 300 feet down to the library over here, as long as you had other switches and things along the way, the signal goes from one to the other, and reaches back to whatever control module or control panel you have for it, your computer interface you have for it. Everything talks everything up, so you can have your alarm equipment, you name it, you add it to your system just by turning it on and having a master controller added to the network. Zigbee technology came along early. It was designed to be low power, designed to be for personal area networks, so like you could have it on your person, that kind of thing. It's very low power, so you don't have to worry about running power to the device, but it also has a very low data rate, so it doesn't send a lot of information that way. Some things you can buy that use Zigbee are like the Hue lamps, and I'll show you later on the power, the smart meter power system uses that. ComEd is putting in smart meters, and they use a version of Zigbee as far as I know. This could go from meter to meter to meter to meter to meter back to ComEd, so they'll be able to say in real time, give you your building, that kind of stuff. As it stands right now, they don't have enough of a network up in place. You can have controllers, Z-Wave controllers. The one that I have is what used to be called Mikasa Vera Plus. It actually, from a company based in Hong Kong. Now, with this device, it plugs into your home network and it has Wi-Fi built into it, which doesn't really do your home Wi-Fi, but it has several ways of interfacing to it, including Bluetooth. It does Z-Wave and Zigbee natively, which means it can control those Hue lamps and talk to those switches from all that kind of thing. There's this Iris system, which you'll find at Home Depot. People are using Samsung Smart Things. That controller is, this Samsung is about usually less than $100. This Vera is about $149 for that one. I got one for $99 in a deal. Philips, this is the Philips Hub, which usually comes in a kit with some bulbs, around $100. There's an old one called Wink, which I had, and I don't recommend anybody get it. I'll tell you what's on there. The Pioneers, the guy did the hair, wasn't there backside? So we do home automation. Of course, you can turn your lights off and on, lock, unlock, bright, dim. That's actually a percentage thing. And the way that most of those dimmers work is it's bright, and it's like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. But in any case, those are some commands you can send out. You can also sense temperature, humidity, motion, light level. You might have an event like a certain calendar time, sunrise, sunset. One thing that's interesting, one of the reasons I went to computer control is because you have a computer, it's able to calculate when sunrise and sunset actually is. So it's automatic. You tell it where you are, lat and long, and it knows when sunrise, sunset is for your house. You can buy those in the store now. I did that hard way. And then what do you want to do when it detects something? You want to actually close the door when it's cold. You want to turn the lights off automatically when everybody's in bed. television right now. Get the lights down to the nice, give the television level. Turn the TV on, and make my popcorn, whatever. You can do all that with a single push button. There even are push buttons that you just stick the wall, fire the stuff off. I have some of those. I have one program for what I call fan sleep. That ceiling fan in the bedroom. I like to have it stir the air up before I go to bed, but you don't want to have it running, until early in the morning because it starts getting cold. So I can push a button on the tablet in the bedroom, and the fan will run for 3 hours and turn itself off. I did something recently. My sump pump failed, and once I realized the sump pump failed, I went out there. My sump pump was outside. The float switch was a part that was broken. Something that would have cost to buy a float switch, like $40. I could buy a whole new sump pump for $110. So in the meantime, I needed a sump pump to work. So I took one of these appliance modules, and I put it in the wall, and I ran a safety cord out the sump pump, and the sump pump would run if I bypassed the bad switch. And so I just programmed it to say, run the sump pump every 20 minutes for 2 minutes. And I went by 5 days like that, and it's perfectly okay. So, did it the hard way. Of course, I invested 3 hours getting all that working, but that's the fun. So I had this X10, the X10 set up. I had the controllers and the tables and that kind of stuff. Oh, do that. So I mainly I did want to have my outside lights turned on at sunset and off at sunrise. And so I wanted to do home automation, because that's my nature. I looked around to see what was available. You can do it yourself with Linux and Raspberry Pis and that kind of stuff. And there were some basic X10 control things like with the X10 company, the Notorious X10 company, which weren't very good. But Xtension was one that works on a Mac. It uses Apple scripting, so you can actually you can write your own algorithm, what you want to have happen, what you want to have happen, and you wouldn't believe stuff people do with it. So what Xtension on the Mac, why is it called Xtension? Because it's X10. The guy who wrote it, Michael Ferguson, actually works at NASA. He worked in the Space Shuttle. And so he put in the same kind of process control that you actually have on the Space Shuttle. Release the clamps after the engines are running properly, that kind of thing. Kind of important. It's very versatile. It keeps the state of the device in an internal database, which is kind of important for X10 because X10 can't tell you whether it's off or on. All you know is if you go through the computer and say go on, it remembers, oh yeah, it's on, so I can turn it off next time it asks. So that's database for that. There's other systems that do that. It logs everything, and they have written interfaces for basically anything on the planet. So for all those reasons, I chose that. I don't want to go into this, but let's see where all this. Now, Michael is not primarily supporting it, but James Sentiment is, and the support is just phenomenal. You pay $149 one time to be able to control more than 10 devices. It'll run on any old Mac. So if you wanted to do this, you could buy a used Mac Mini for $300, pay $149 license fee, and control all those kinds of devices. But I want to emphasize for you guys, you don't have to buy a computer controller. Because all those devices like the Vero will do a lot of this stuff by itself. Those controllers have these kind of things built into them. I can do more with Xtension, telling the Vero what we want to have. And I can have Xtension say, I want to control turn the outside lights off and that kind of thing. You also can go in here and just click on something to turn lights off and on manually, turn the fan off and on. You can see that some of these things are the temperature readouts for the temperature sensors that I have in the house. So I can make a decision. Like, I have a door, you'll see there's a door going to the sunroom. The sunroom is semi-heated, semi-cool. But what if I want to say that if it's especially hot, close the door to the sunroom. If it's especially cold at night, close the door to the sunroom. You know, I could set a sensor up. Dogs, when I go out, open the door to the sunroom if they have permission. And those kind of controls. This is what you call the beach ball kind of thing. So we can go on. So it runs on any old Mac, and you know, like mine's on a $400 Mac Mini sitting in the closet, and it's $149 for the license. But it was designed so you can take your old Macintosh and just run this on it, because it's not really a big, heavy load that it requires or anything. Now you want to have an Intel Mac, but you can buy an old Intel Mac for a little money. Here's an idea of how you can script things. Literally, somebody has this. If I walk into a room, play music, so it says, he tells iTunes to turn his AirPlay device in the attic on and set the volume to 200. So he's going to play music. It's a typical idea. If you really want to do this, you want to make it into a thermostat. Temperature's greater than 70, turn off the heater. Otherwise, turn on the heater. This is basically what mine does. When it lowers the shades, it says, "Good night, Grace Lake," and closes the shades. But that kind of thing you do with scripting, because you know, talking and all kinds of things that sound things your computer can do. No. This is Chuck, who's in our group. This is the ad.
Entrepreneurs, you pitch your startup on a 2-minute hot lap. Listening in will be a team of venture capitalists. They'll decide if you...
New at 6, you might own one or seen it advertised. Appliances that you can control with your smartphone. Some even learn your habits. It's all called home automation. But K2's Keaton Thomas introduces us to a Portland man who hacked his home and says it's probably more advanced than any home you've ever been in.
Not mine.
Hello, KATU.
That's Chuck Coleman's home speaking to us.
Welcome to my house.
Just one small trick for the man who calls himself a hacker, an enthusiast, and a cutting-edge guy. For the past 30 years, he's hacked nearly every part of his home.
I'm so far ahead of the curve that I'm not even in the curve.
And he taught himself how to do it all. The result, a completely automated home.
It's custom made just for my wife and I.
Sensors installed in every room are part of the magic. They're constantly communicating with the computer that Coleman coded to control almost everything and increase efficiency. For example, his home turns on the lights when you walk in a room.
And I don't think about it. The computer just does it.
Then turns them off when you leave. It smartly adjusts temperature.
I just move warm air from one room to another.
And even pumps hot water to the sink when you walk into the kitchen.
So when you turn on the water, it's instantly hot.
His home controls the door, the locks, the furnace, the fridge, and much more that we just don't have time to go into. The drawbacks, it's expensive.
And if I hired somebody to do it, it'd be even higher.
And it can be a lot to maintain.
Sometimes the system isn't as reliable as I would like it to be.
And why does Coleman, nearly 70 years old now, do it? Well, he likes the challenge of figuring out how to make his home work better. And he thinks it's just fun.
People think it's cool that I can turn on my lights, and I'm going like, that's so last century.
So is this for everyone? Well, we asked Coleman just that.
Would you recommend someone else do something like this to their house?
If they got a good, strong marriage and...
A strong marriage and a lot of technical know-how, enough to get your home to think for itself and maybe even give it a voice.
Goodbye, KATU.
Keaton Thomas,
Thanks for coming to visit.
K2 News.
But you can see my Hue hub is right there, and the old rear is right there, and the back wing is professionally installed right there, and this is the top of my pantry. There's some, Ethernet switches, kind of stuff. These are X10 interfaces to the power line. I actually hooked up both two phases of power there, so we can talk to both ends of the power line right there. But I need to go in there and climb up there and straighten stuff out, which I'm actually working on right now. That's actually,
Oh, my God.
huh?
That's a...
That's what I pulled my desk back. That's what it looked like underneath. But that is not, home automation. That's basically where, remember I told you about 16 screens? That's where all 16 screens are. It's been cleaned up considerably. I went in there and found, cables that didn't go anywhere, about half of them. I added that, I was playing, moving things. This is, if you have, let's talk about this. ComEd has a system called real-time electric pricing. You're going to get a smart meter whether you want it or not. Either bring them on anyway, okay? What I have, besides the smart meter, is real-time pricing. So I pay, like right now, I'm paying that 3.5 cents per kilowatt hour. What is it? 3.2 cents per kilowatt hour. Okay. Your flat rate is probably about 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So you save on power. Besides which, you can see how the price varies based on the time. And when there's peak times like hot afternoons, the rates might go up to 15 cents a kilowatt hour for a short time or whatever else. So it's helpful if you know when the rates are high, so you don't, you don't run your dryer in your washing machine. First of all, my washing machine, my dryer, or my washing machine, and my dishwasher all have delayed start. So I start them 4 hours after I turn them on. So they all run up to 2 o'clock in the morning when you can see that electricity. See right here what happened at 3 a.m.? It actually went negative. Okay? At 3 a.m., they were going to pay you a penny a kilowatt hour to use electricity. Okay? So if I ran my dishwasher during that time, I'm making money. I'm going to get rich. But anyway, this real-time pricing, if you want to get in on it, let me know because I can get a referral fee for sending you over there. So I have, they have an API which you can use, and you can connect a device in your house. You can connect to the smart meter and get the current electric use. And there's mine. That in real time is how much power I'm using right now. Now what's not valid is the price per kilowatt hour because ComEd in their wisdom doesn't send that back in the network because they don't have enough of a mesh yet. So I just plugged in 5 cents a kilowatt hour and that does multiplication. There's a way to take, I can get an API that takes that price, combine it with my load, and actually get the real price that I'm actually costing me every hour to run electricity, which you got to do through the website. But in any case, that is a device on my network for rainforest that is sitting there talking to the smart meter, getting my current electrical usage. And you can even ask rainforest.
Too bad.
No, I wiped off the device, which is $30. But I can tell you that over the years, this has saved me. I think I've had it for 4 or 5 years. I probably saved $2,500 in electricity on that time. Even though they're crooked as hell, being ComEd. There's a thing. This is not what you actually pay for electricity. They charge you for delivery charge, all their nonsense. And so that's still in there, which is why even you go up with a negative 6 cents instead of the delivery charge, so you're paying money for the electricity they're paying you to use. So, and then they have this thing called a capacity charge, which is just another way for them to charge you more money. It's supposed to be that we charge you more if you use electricity during peak times, which is exactly what this is. You know, it's like, what are you doing? I'm paying more for peak times, but they have a surcharge for using electricity during peak times. Because they're common, they can do that. So I just got a weather station, and that's the temperature and wind and history for my corner. You can get this right on the website. If you go to weatherunderground.com and look for this Kill Craze 23, that's me. Correct presentation is one of these there. Show you. Okay, so what I recommend, I mean, again, don't let me intimidate you that you have to get the computer and you have to do all this stuff. If you get a Vera all by itself, you can do pretty much all this stuff. It has that kind of stuff built into it. I can show you on the web how you can configure the Vera off their web interface. If you want to get crazy as me and use an extension, it's the best computer automation system. The Philips Hue, the lighting is pretty neat. They also have, they're adding things like motion sensors and things like that on their system. The biggest thing I tell you is don't avoid closed systems. The reasons why the Wink system is a disaster, and I had that, is that the Wink was one of the systems, and there are a lot of them out there when you find inexpensive little Chinese things that depend on their computers to do anything useful. The Wink needed them to turn your lights on. There was a time I sat there with the Wink and I couldn't turn the light off because their system went down. You don't need that. You know, everything that I have works in my house. I don't need any smarts. Now I can use smarts. Like you just saw how I can read the temperature for the electrical rates, okay? I can go to the cloud and get that. That's because I'm sending it to them. And that's just an added feature. The device is reading the meter in my house, giving me the data in my house. It doesn't go anyplace else. You need other smarts. Don't ever use the cloud. It's a very bad thing. I mean, I just saw something from some Chinese company. They're going like this. You really have to have them to make it work. It's like, yeah, I want to trust them. So don't do that. Imperial Home is great for an Android. Blue Iris for Windows for the security. I'll show you in a second. That's the Vera Plus, which you get from getVera.com. If you like a door closer, I got this from Discount Home Automation, who I'm recommending there. The Blue Iris DVR, which I'll show you in a second, runs on Windows. It's very inexpensive. On switch works with the Hue, and I have an app called My AV on Android, which controls my Onkyo AVR and my automation, my entertainment stuff. The GE Jasco Z-Wave switches are very good and relatively inexpensive. At talking in the area of $25, $30 a switch. Hue is not so inexpensive. The current Gen 3 bulbs alone are $50. But you could kits, which might have a hub and the bulbs with it, but it might be $150. So it's not really cheap, but it's cool. They have light strips, and you just watch for them. If I have used from Amazon. The Soundpeak Gateway, that is the RTS. It's called the ZRTS Gateway. That's what converts Z-Wave to the RTS control for your shades, quick satellite, and locks period, and that's the deadbolt that you saw. Okay, for cameras, let me show you cameras.
Question,
Yeah.
so I live in Warren Township, which signed up for the electricity aggregation thing, the alternative provider.
Yeah.
Can you still do the real-time pricing if you're
It's comment only. In fact, when Grace Lake did it, and I was actually, fighting with the village otherwise, when they did a bulk purchase, they said that specifically people who had smart meters and real-time pricing were not included. So I predated, I sort of predated what they were doing. But it's ComEd. You only works for electricity from ComEd. The other vendors don't play with it, although they could. Nothing there is not great. So anyway, this is the web interface to Blue Iris. I'm not necessarily going to show you how you control it, but one of the things that Blue Iris does is it will run a web server. So I am now connected to that web server, which I can connect to over the internet because I opened up a port on my router. So there is an actual view of Route 120, and there is my front yard, and there's the front door, and there's the trash in my carport, which I'm working on, and that is, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, there's some key things to keep in mind. You see that picture right there? That is a Hikvision, Hikvision, I guess I will say it wrong because they're in Chinese. Hikvision 3 megapixel camera. What does 3 megapixel mean? It means that resolution of that image is 2400 by 1500, something like that. 3 megapixels. That's one camera sitting there with that wide of a view, with that kind of detail. That camera is $129. It's very small. I'll show you a picture of it, but it's just fantastic. So,
How many frames per second?
it's, I think it's 30 or better. You know this stuff. Yeah, it's 30 or better, and it's got phenomenal night vision. At night, I can see in detail. I can see the house across the street. I'm adding some IR lights behind this just to give it a boost and I can have more lighting. It doesn't need it. I mean, this effectively I can see that street as well as I hear you. Maybe that's coming. So that is the best, and you want to look for higher resolution and versatility. This has it. I mean, they're very, very good. The other kind is current brand. This is an Amcrest. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, well, that's an Amcrest too. You know that. All right, that's an Amcrest. That is a HD camera. It's the pan and tilt little guy. And it's for interior. It's for inside use only. But that's a 2 megapixel view. Okay, and I'm looking at the window, which is why you see trash on top of my table. That's going to be outside pretty soon. Just to compare that, this is a Foscam camera. That is what you used to get. That's a VGA resolution. It's 640 by 480. Okay, you see you don't get the detail. You can still see stuff, but you get nowhere near the detail of the high resolution cameras. And I can show you that one. This is a new Amcrest camera. Okay, that's 2 megapixel. It's not quite as much as that Hikvision, but it's good. And these cameras, that camera itself I got for $80. But that one that's right there, that's an interior camera, which since it's a half, I need to roll out the wavelength too much. But you can use those inside cameras if they're out of the range, which is how I'm pushing the use of this one. Okay. Remember I told you the sump pump failed? I took one of the old cameras and threw it in the sump pump. The picture should be better than that. I was able to watch it work before I broke the settings in the camera. But there's my sump pump. That is another old Foscam camera, and with the same kind of VGA resolution. You can see the detail better, the colors better. And I think it can be a little bit better than that, but package. I caught him. You can watch him get the cut in the front door. I get an Amazon package. So, now it's going through a cycle. So it'll cycle through all the cameras. Now, I have, at this point, I think 12 cameras hooked up. Pretty much covering every corner of the outlet. I keep on trying to tell myself to buy more cameras. Then I go like, wait a minute, what else am I going to cover? So, I've got 2 on the front door. Just so I can get some detail. So, you also don't need a computer to get useful out of this, okay? The cameras themselves, first of all, the camera has a motion detector in it, and you can tell it to read both. Blue Iris has the capability of a motion detector, so it will look for changes in the picture, and then it will start recording. Blue Iris is basically will record continuously, it'll record snapshots every so often, it'll record based on motion, it'll record based on some interior fire off. If I had a motion detector out externally, I want to tell Blue Iris when I see somebody in the front yard start recording continuously or whatever else. You can tell it that, when that big wide camera sees somebody walking, record all of the front door cameras continuously for the next 15 minutes, and it'll do that. The cameras themselves have motion sensors in them. If you just that, high vision camera. The high visions and the Ancrafts have, you can put an SD card in, a flash card, and it will record internally. So you can tell it when you pick up motion, record yourself. It will do that. Then you can, through their web interface, through their application, you can go back and play things manually. It's all of the same parameters. Record motion, take a snapshot every so often, whatever you do with the camera itself. In my case, this is sitting on a Windows server which is dedicated to this. So it records all those things. And you can do things like send the pictures off-site. You can DP them off. You can obviously see I'm looking at the server right now. You can get applications. They have applications for Android at least, where I can look at these cameras the same way as looking at them right now. Look at events, alarms, that kind of thing. But again, you don't have to go through the whole computer thing if you don't want to. You can buy the camera by itself and get some useful out of it. So, what I'm saying is, don't go to Best Buy and buy that $400 DVR system because you get very low quality cameras. They aren't IP cameras. They're usually analog. You can have some with IP cameras now. You can generally get a small picture. You can get a DVR, which is just some propped together Linux system. It isn't configured very well. Your documentation will be cheaplish. You don't want that. If you want to buy one from Costco, have at it, but I don't recommend it. Buy these kinds of things from Amazon, the acquisition. The wiring is power over Ethernet, which means that you don't have to run a separate power line to them. Okay, now, you may choose that you want to do that, but this requires your Ethernet cable carries the power to the camera. And to do that means that you plug it into a switch. You've got to inject the power on it. So you either get a switch that has the power over Ethernet power supply in it, or you can get what's called an injector, which you plug the cable from the switch into it, and choose the power into the cable and sets it on the device. They use these for phones and things like that too. That's what I recommend, just because it saves your wiring headache. All I got to do is run one cable out of these cameras, one Ethernet cable, and I'm wired. Now, these Ampress cameras and some other ones use Wi-Fi. Those cameras that you're looking at there, some of those are on Wi-Fi. They're not wired in, but it performs much better, much more reliable, and your latency is a lot less if you can wire it. But you can get one of these cameras like that one with the Wi-Fi built into it. And all you got to do is put it near an outlet and plug it in and configure it, and it'll work over your Wi-Fi. So remember, you can put the card in there, you can put it on the Wi-Fi, you can get power to it, it'll work. I just don't recommend you do a lot of those because they get laggy after a while. I had to put access points in 2 different parts of the house to cover the cameras with it, not wiring them in as stuff. This kind of home automation is a good place for that, like the door opener, that kind of stuff. Amazon, there's an Amazon merchant called Home Controls Incorporated. It's a good place to get stuff. If you're going to get X10 stuff, this guy called Sugar B5 on eBay has good prices and he still has good supplies. If you remember what X10.com was back in the bad old days, all the pop-up ads, they're gone. And this new company that has the domain name. But if you remember the X10.com, it always showed a girl in a bikini on the camera. Why do you think that was?
Get your attention.
No! It's because they were the preferred choice of voyeurs who were putting cameras in bathrooms. And they were just hinting at what you could do with them. So, whenever you saw one of those stories saying that they found the coach and hid a camera in the locker room, they bring out an X10 camera. So that's that. Anything I didn't cover you wanted to cover in more detail? How much over did I run, Phil? Are you okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not 2:30 yet.
It's not.
Why, 5 minutes?
I figured I was going to have to speed through things. I can tell you some other, I'll show you some other fun stuff. Well, I did show you all the fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, Mike's paused for breath. Anybody have any questions for him? Bill?
Are you going to be sharing this presentation with the group?
Yeah, I'll put this in the PDF. Get it to you, Bill. Yeah, you can put it up there. Or JJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it out there for you.
Thank you.
And those videos are on YouTube. If you search for Otodor, O-T-O-D-O-R, and you'll find this playlist in the second link at YouTube. So it has all those links.
Do you have a Generac backup system for if the power goes out in your house?
I have a portable generator in the back porch.
You don't have Generac though?
No.
That's
I got Generac, I just put a Generac power washer, we just finally used it. No, and I mean even that there, I'm going to run a wire from the, put a socket out in the back so that I can fire my portable generator plugged in. But what I did was, we had a power failure, you guys in Grace Lake?
No, okay.
Yeah, okay, we had a power failure July of 2 or 3 years ago that lasted for like
Oh,
from
yeah.
Monday to Thursday or
Yeah,
whatever.
Waukegan had that.
5 days.
Yeah, during that window.
5 days.
So, what I did was, I'm sitting there on Monday going like, well, it won't last that long, and I'll put up with it, and it was really hot. So I said, I'm gonna just get in the car and drive as far south as I have to go until I find a Home Depot that has a generator. Got to American Heights and gave up on that idea.
I had to go all the way down to South Lake Forest.
Yeah.
Across Lakefoot Road. There's a Home Depot down there. I had to go down there to find one.
So I was sitting there at 10 o'clock at night in a Steak and Shake, and I fired up the phone, and I went, and I could get like, next day delivery from Amazon. So I bought a generator and paid $3 extra, so they shipped me a $100 generator, a 100-pound generator for $3 more. And of course, it didn't arrive until Wednesday morning because it wasn't early enough to set up the next day. So what we did in the meantime was my neighbor and I drove all the way down to Glendale Heights or south of Joliet to a friend of his who said he could borrow my generator. So we drove down there all day Tuesday, brought it back, fired it up. I helped him wire it into his panel, ran the extension cord across the house, from his house to my house, and plugged in my refrigerators. I bought like 80 pounds of ice. Okay, Wednesday morning comes, the UPS guy rings my doorbell. I'm still next door helping the neighbor wiring his power panel because in his house he had electric a pump on his water heaters. He didn't have any hot water until he got power on it. So I'm helping him getting that working. The UPS guy showed up and says, I saw this generator, figured come to your house first, you probably needed it. And I said, yeah, thanks. So we go and break the box open and we put the oil in it and whatever. And I run the extension cord into the house and I'm ready to plug the refrigerator and the lights are on. So, yeah. So then I power has remained up here is because I bought the generator. Even they,
That's the same thing with me. I buy a snowboard, it doesn't snow.
yeah, yeah. I bought 2 more this year. So just so you know that I helped with that too, you know. So,
But in 2011, that Generac companies, the one that, with the one we got in our
Yeah.
house, they sold a ton of those.
Yeah.
But now, he said they're not selling like they were then.
well, because their e-com had actually fixed some of those lines, you know. My brother's power was off for 8 days. He's out and out for Glenview, and he bought the generator after that, of course. He's great, so, but anyway, I mean, that's just one of the things that.
It's an insurance policy, that's what it is.
Yeah, well, and, you know, that real estate lady that's on Shark Tank said it's one of the dumbest things you can buy. It's like, yeah, okay, until the power goes up.
Any other questions for Mike?
Well, he solved a question or a problem that I had, which is not a problem. Now I know why, because I have the U system, plus smart thing,
Yeah,
and why my lights keep coming on later each day.